Boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. You see a very weary boogeyman in front of you. I am very tired. Just had a long week, and I had an absolute blast yesterday at the Sinister Halloween Con. This is the first one that's been specifically Halloween focused, but the Sinister Creature Con is my favorite horror convention. It's close to me. It's in Sacramento at the Scottish Rite Center. This is the second one they've had this year. And this is the first year that they've had two conventions in 1 year since 2018. 2019 was supposed to have their October convention, but it ended up getting canceled. So that really sucked because there was going to be some great people that year, like Tom Holland and Tony Todd, two people I really want to meet. But this year, there was a really cool slate, but there was only one person I really was going for, and that was Corey Feldman. That's right, Feld Dog himself. Somebody that I've been a fan of since I was a little kid, since seeing him in Gremlins and Friday the 13th, the final chapter. New Beginning, Friday the 13th, New Beginning, which is the first Friday the 13th I saw in the movie theater. And then from Goonies to Stand By Me to Lost Boys, Dream a Little Dream, License to Drive, The Burbs. Just the list goes on and on. Bordello of Blood he was in. He's been in quite a lot of things that I loved as a kid, and I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet him because he usually doesn't come up this way. What's funny, though, is he's playing in a club in November, really close to where I live, a club called Retro Junkie. So it's like, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And he was actually talking about that with some people at his table yesterday when I was there. So yeah, it was a great day. They only did one convention though. Typically they do two. They'll do a Friday, Saturday and a Sunday. They just did a Saturday this time. But it was so much fun. The line was insane just to get into the venue. I've been going to this convention since 2015, and I've never seen a line this long. It stretched like through the parking lot. I heard from other people standing in the line that it had been longer earlier in the day because I left to get there at 12:30 when they were letting people in that were like, because they had like early access, but I just did the regular ticket. And I went by myself for the first time. Usually my wife goes with me, but I just went to this one by myself. Really just was excited to meet Corey Feldman. It was pricey to meet him. But again, you know, it's like when I met Stan Lee in 2013. You know, you don't know when you're going to get these opportunities again. And there's been some people that I've met and they've passed on. So, you know, Stan Lee's being one of them. Steve Dash was another one. You don't know. So it's like, you know, this world is uncertain. So I knew that I wanted to take this opportunity, even though if it was a little bit pricier than some people I've met at some of these cons. But yeah, the line was crazy, and you know, there's really cool people there, people in costumes, and it was a lot of fun. And I got to see some good friends. My friend John Russell was there. He and I went and hung out back in November of last year. They did a screening of Monster Go Home at the Orinda Theater. So I got to see him again. It was the first time we've seen each other in person. We keep in contact all the time, but I haven't seen him in person. Then I've seen his friend before, his friend Chris. We got to talk and everything. Yeah, we all hung out and talked and walked around, looked at the different vendors. Most of my time at the con was waiting in line. I literally got in line at like 2:30, and then I was in line until 5. So it was a long day. It just the line for Corey Feldman stretched all the way through the back half of the venue at Scottish Rite, which I've actually never seen that part of the venue. That's where they have like the cosplay stuff, and I think they have panels in some of those rooms that are down away from the convention floor. But it was all the way in this quad area where they had like all the cosplayers. And so I was standing there. I was at the very end of the line, but I got to meet a really nice guy named Greg. Got to meet his family, his wife Jocelyn and their kids. They have triplets. They were all dressed up, you know, as different characters like Chucky and Harley Quinn. It was really, really nice to talk to him, and he and I were kind of just like, you know, we were stuck in that line for a while because at one point Corey had to take a break, and I believe it was to do photography because they have photos because they had a professional photographer there. It was a different package because I did see some people got out of line to go do that instead of waiting to get the autograph and the picture just at the table. But I was like, I'm just going to do the picture and the autograph at the table. That's what I came there for. And of course, the thing I brought to have him autograph was this monstrosity, Crystal Lake Memories, my Friday the 13th Bible, first edition of this book, and I've had it signed by many people. But standing in line, I got this young woman came up to me and asked if she could take my picture. And at first I thought she was talking to Greg, because Greg had an amazing sleeve, amazing tattoo sleeve. And that's what initially sparked our conversation. He had this amazing sleeve with Return of the Living Dead. He had Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, just amazing tattoos. And I was talking to him about his tattoo work when we first got in line together, or when I first got in line and saw he was there. Because I asked him, because there was so many people in the quad, I asked him, I said, this is the line, because there was people that were just sort of spread out over the quad, and he said, yeah, this is the end of the line. Sorry, my voice is kind of going, but he was like, oh yeah, he's like, this is the end of the line. So after that, I started talking about his work, and we started talking about, like, you know, just movies like Lost Boys, Goonies, and, you know, horror films. And I told him about Friday the 13th, and, you know, how I had everybody sign my book and everything. But at one point, when we were sort of stuck waiting, that 45-minute period, which actually stretched into about an hour and so, this woman came by. And I hope I'm saying your name right, if you're watching this video, I think your name was Nate. She asked if she could take my picture, and I thought she was asking if she could take his picture because of his amazing artwork. And no, she wanted to take my picture because she's a fan of this channel, and just kind of blew me away. We had two interactions. Another time I was talking to my friend Jamie, who was actually working at the convention. She was actually sitting to assist Mark Patton from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I had already met Mark back in 2017, but I did say hi to him real quickly. But I was talking to Jamie, and we were just, you know, sort of catching up. I had seen her briefly at the last con in June, but it was nice to see her again. It's always a pleasure seeing Jamie, and she came up to me again to take a selfie with me, and it was flattering. And it's like, I still don't know what to do when people recognize me, so it was really nice to meet somebody that's a fan of this channel. And to tell you, if you're watching, thank you so much. It was an honor meeting you. Please feel free to comment and everything. Really appreciate all the support, and it was like I said, a pleasure meeting you. Some other people I got to see at the con, I got to see my friend Brian Henderson from Forever Midnight, him and his son Dylan, and Dylan's friend. They were kind of walking by me in the line, and I asked if they were waiting to see Corey, and they weren't. He was like, no, he's like, I don't have time for that commitment or something like that. But it was nice to see Brian. I'm going to see him again this coming Friday. They're having a special Hen House release in Petaluma, so I'm going to be going to that. Then I also saw my friend Brian Jones, who is one of the people running the con, and he's always a great guy. He was the one that got me that really sweet Bob Elmore autograph back in August when I couldn't attend the Creepy Con that was in Concord because of a family tragedy that we had. So, I mean, he's always awesome. It was great to see him. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And before I get to my interaction with Corey, I'll show just a couple of the things that I picked up. Like I said, I didn't buy too much, and I'm mad I didn't get the card for this vendor, but I saw their artwork, and I just said, this is too cool. So I got this one. It's kind of like a play on that, let's all go to the lobby. And it's, you know, it's the popcorn, hot dog, and drink, but it's kind of a zombified version of them. I really like that, so I picked that up, and it was like 2 cards for $5, and I was like, that's a good deal. But this is one. So me being a cat fan, I'm a big fan of, I have 3 cats, and this one just made me so happy, because it sort of encompasses my love of cats and my love of Friday the 13th, and it's Jason being freaked out by a black cat, and I just thought that was too cute to not get. So yeah, I love these. I'm probably going to put them here in the office or the lounge. The last thing I picked up, and I didn't need this because I have an 8x10 autographed by David Soul of this, but if I find anything Salem's Lot related, I will pick it up, and it's this one right here. This is pretty cool. So I got usually this place you can get, I think it's 3 posters for $25. I always go there. Like last time I went, I got the Creep Show, Fog, and Hitchcock posters, the Hitchcock one for Psycho. And I just saw this one, and I was like, I was trying to find a Curse for Michael Myers. For some reason, I was like, I just want to find Halloween Curse for Michael Myers. And because Halloween Ends is out, and despite the hate, people still love Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, that poster was not available. They had a few, but I was like, I didn't need a Halloween 5. I have a mini Halloween 5 poster in the horror zone, and I just said, you know what, I just want a Halloween Curse of Michael Myers one. They didn't have it, and I was about to just sort of leave, and I said, I wonder if they have a Salem's Lot poster, because I found a lot of good Salem's Lot posters at that one, at that con and at that booth, and found this one. I was like, perfect. So I just got this one. This was $10. So I'm going to find a spot for that, probably in the horror zone. I think I already know where I'm going to put it. Now on to the main event, on to meeting Corey Feldman. So like I said, long wait, but totally worth it. When you got up to the booth, or to his table area, he was actually in the same spot that Bill Moseley was over the summer at the Sinister Creature Con. And the young lady I spoke to just asked, what I was having signed. I said my book, and she asked if I would want to do a photo, and I said yeah, absolutely, and got that. So they just gave you like a little, post-it, and they kind of just said, combo, and I just kept that with me. Got up there, put the book down, just said, it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Feldman. He was very nice, and he asked and I said if you could sign right here, and and I'll show when I pick the book up. I have multiple signatures in that book. And he asked me, he said, oh, did you have a chance to have Ted sign this before he passed away? And I told him, I said, unfortunately I didn't. I said, I had a friend that got me an autograph at Dark Delicacies several years ago of his, but I never got to meet him. And I talked to him about the scene in Friday the 13th, the infamous scene where Jason jumps through the window and grabs him at the end, towards the climax of the film, because that whole thing wasn't planned the way it was. They were waiting. It was like, if you watch him tell the story on the documentary about it, there was supposed to be 3 beats and Jason was supposed to jump through the window, and they did the 3 beats and it didn't happen. Then all of a sudden, so his reaction when he busts through the window, Corey's reaction is absolutely 100% genuine. He is terrified, because I guess he grabbed him and lifted him up, and that's why that reaction that he has on his face is so believable. And I said that scene always terrified me as a kid, and he said it terrified me too. So we had a little laugh there. Very cool. But then when I was going to go and take the picture with him, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like his his manager or something. There was some type of altercation. They had some type of words. I didn't know what was going on. I just sort of kept my distance. Didn't really want to, act like I was intruding. And it got cleared up. The guy apologized to me, and I said, no, don't worry about it. And I sat down. Corey put his arm around me, so I'm like, cool. I never know, how people are going to be. And I put my arm around him, and, we did the picture. It was fun. It was great. It was worth it. It was $120, but it was worth it. I got to meet one of my childhood heroes and somebody I idolized as a kid. So it meant a lot to me. He said, thank you so much. God bless. And, I went on my way, and I've showcased this in many videos. I have many autographs from over the years. First got it signed in 2009 by the amazing CJ Graham, my favorite Jason from Jason Lives. And here at the top, there is Corey Feldman's autograph, right above Ken Kersinger's, who I got back in June of this year. Played Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. But yeah, that means a lot. But had a great day. Always have a blast at these Sinister Creature Con events, and just want to thank everybody, the staff, everybody that put it on. It was handled really well. Everybody was super nice, and had a complete blast, and got to meet some new friends. So that really, I was really happy to meet Greg and Jocelyn. They were super nice. And I also had a psychic reading for the first time. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about. That was a trip. So when I walked in and was walking the convention floor, I ran into I sort of came around the corner, and this woman named Sabella was there, and she asked me if I'd like to do a reading. And I was like, I've never done that in my life. I think I want to do that. So met her. She's very nice. I have her card right here. And it was really nice. And I heard some cool things. I don't want to share them right now because, it's personal stuff, but really, really sort of, it's kind of got me thinking about, some cool stuff, and some getting like on track with some things that I really want to do in my life. So it was really a nice reading. She was awesome. It was really nice meeting her. It was her first time at the con. So much fun. I really had a great day. I really appreciate all the work that goes into these Sinister Creature Cons, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. I appreciate everybody's support. If you were at the con, let me know if you got to meet Corey, if you got to meet some of the other amazing people that were there. I had a blast, and I can't wait till next year. They always put on a great con, and just like I said, wanted to share that with everyone. I hope everyone's having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. Hey fellow Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Peace.